Every locomotive rolling down the tracks follows strict safety regulations that most people never think about. Today, we're uncovering 7 surprising things that are not allowed on these powerful machines. Locomotives are the backbone of freight and passenger rail transportation, moving millions of tons of cargo and countless passengers across the country every single day. These massive machines can weigh over 400,000 pounds and travel at speeds exceeding 70 miles per hour. With such incredible power and responsibility comes an equally impressive set of safety standards and regulations. The Federal Railroad Administration, along with various transportation safety organizations, maintains comprehensive guidelines about what can and cannot be placed on or attached to a locomotive. Some of these rules make immediate sense, while others might surprise you. Let's dive into 7 fascinating things that railroad professionals must keep off their locomotives. Number 1. Unauthorized lighting systems. The first item on our list involves lighting modifications that Haven-T received proper approval from regulatory agencies. Locomotives come equipped with very specific lighting configurations that serve critical safety functions. The headlights, ditch lights, and marker lights on a locomotive aren't just there for visibility. They communicate vital information to other railroad workers, dispatchers, and anyone near the tracks. Adding extra lights, changing the color of existing lights, or installing decorative lighting without authorization creates serious problems because other train crews and railroad workers rely on standardized light patterns to identify what type of train is approaching and from which direction. Imagine if every locomotive had different colored lights or additional lights in non-standard positions. It would create confusion and potentially hazardous situations, especially during night operations or in poor visibility conditions. The lighting systems on locomotives must meet exact specifications regarding brightness, color, positioning, and visibility distance so that whether you're in California or Maine, a locomotive's lights mean exactly the same thing. Railroad engineers and conductors train extensively to recognize these standard signals, and any deviation from approved lighting configurations could lead to miscommunication. Additionally, unauthorized electrical modifications can interfere with a locomotive's existing electrical systems. And adding unauthorized electrical devices could create interference or drain power from critical systems, which is why any lighting changes must go through a rigorous approval process to ensure safety and operational integrity. Number 2. Obstructions to operator vision. Our second item focuses on anything that blocks or reduces the locomotive engineer's field of vision. The cab of a locomotive might seem spacious, but every window and sight line serves an essential purpose, and engineers need unobstructed views forward, to the sides, and often behind the locomotive to operate safely. Railroad regulations specify that nothing can be placed on the windshield side windows or any viewing area that would restrict the operator's ability to see signals, track conditions, or potential hazards, including stickers, decals, air fresheners, hanging from mirrors, or excessive paperwork on the dashboard. While these might seem minor, they can have major consequences because engineers must constantly watch for signals, track switches, obstacles, track conditions, and nearby workers, all while the locomotive is moving at significant speeds. Even a small obstruction could prevent an engineer from seeing a critical signal or hazard in time. The regulations clearly state that the cab must allow maximum visibility at all times, including proper storage of items inside the cab and on exterior walkways, which is why professional railroad crews maintain strict housekeeping standards to keep all sight lines clear. Number 3. Improperly stored flammable materials. The third item on our list deals with flammable materials and how they must be handled around locomotives. While locomotives do carry diesel fuel in specially designed tanks that meet rigorous safety standards, improper storage of additional flammable materials anywhere on the locomotive is not allowed. This includes gasoline cans without approved containers, oil rags left in unsafe locations, or flammable liquids not stored in designated areas. Locomotives operate in environments with extreme heat, electrical systems, and potential ignition sources, and engine exhaust systems can reach temperatures that would easily ignite improperly stored materials. Regulations require all flammable substances to be in approved containers, properly labeled, and stored to minimize risk, protecting both workers and the environment. Crews are trained in proper handling procedures, and even maintenance materials like lubricants and solvents must follow strict rules, including quantity limits. Although modern locomotives have fire suppression systems, introducing unauthorized flammable materials could create fire scenarios those systems were never designed to handle. Number 4. Graffiti and unauthorized markings. Number 4 on our list is graffiti and unauthorized markings on locomotives. While this might seem like a property issue, it is also a regulated safety concern because locomotives display critical identification numbers, safety warnings, and operational information on their exteriors. These markings are essential for maintenance, tracking, accident investigation, emergency response, and operational coordination. Graffiti can obscure identification numbers, safety warnings, and instructional placards that protect railroad workers and emergency personnel. It also indicates unauthorized access to railroad property, which poses serious safety risks and highlights potential security failures. From an operational standpoint, removing graffiti requires taking locomotives out of service. An improper removal can damage specialized protective coatings, leading to corrosion and additional maintenance issues. Number 5. Unauthorized passengers. The fifth item addresses a serious safety violation. Unauthorized passengers on locomotives. The cab of a locomotive is a workplace, not a passenger area, and only qualified, authorized personnel may be present during operations. Regulations clearly define who can be in the cab, typically including the engineer, conductor, trainees under supervision, and authorized inspectors. These restrictions exist because operating a locomotive requires intense focus, and unauthorized people create distractions, increase the risk of accidental control activation, and introduce liability and insurance complications. The rules also extend beyond the cab, as unauthorized individuals cannot ride on freight trains at all, making practices like train hopping both illegal and extremely dangerous. While passengers are allowed in designated passenger cars, they are never permitted in locomotive cabs or restricted operating areas, reinforcing a fundamental principle of railroad safety. Number 6. Non-compliant safety equipment. Number 6 on our list involves safety equipment that does not meet current standards or has fallen into disrepair. Locomotives must carry specific safety equipment, including fire extinguishers, reflective warning devices, safety chains, handrails, access steps, and communication systems, all of which must be properly maintained and fully functional. Fire extinguishers must be correctly rated, inspected, charged, and within expiration dates, while reflective materials must meet visibility standards. Handrails and steps must be intact to prevent falls, and radios must meet strict requirements for reliability and clarity. Crews perform inspections before each trip and during longer runs, and any deficient equipment must be repaired or replaced before operation continues. This strict approach reflects the railroad industry's commitment to worker safety and operational reliability. Number 7. Signal interference devices. The seventh and final item on our list involves devices that interfere with required safety and monitoring systems. Modern locomotives rely on advanced electronic systems like positive train control, which uses GPS, wayside devices, and onboard computers to prevent certain types of accidents by automatically slowing or stopping trains when necessary. Interfering with GPS signals or communication systems compromises this critical protection. Locomotives also carry event recorders that capture operational data for investigations and compliance verification, and tampering with these systems is strictly prohibited. Additionally, many locomotives use forward-facing and inward-facing cameras for safety, investigation, and training purposes, and blocking or disabling them violates regulations. These technologies have significantly improved safety, reduced accidents, and often helped exonerate crews during investigations. So there you have it, 7 things that are not allowed on locomotives, each with important safety reasons behind the regulations. From lighting systems to safety equipment, proper storage to electronic systems, these rules reflect decades of experience and continuous improvement in railroad safety. The industry takes these regulations seriously because violations can have severe consequences. And today's strong safety record comes from rigorous standards, training, and a culture that prioritizes safety above convenience. Next time you see a locomotive rolling down the tracks, you'll have a better appreciation for all the regulations and standards that keep it operating safely. These massive machines represent incredible engineering achievements, and the rules governing their operation ensure they can continue serving our transportation needs reliably and safely for years to come.